So the leader of a conservative gay Republican group is speaking out today after he was attacked over his sexual orientation. Jimmy LaSalvia, head of the group GOProud, was riding his bike home from work earlier this week when a teen male called him a gay slur and punched him in the chest. Now his group, which has requested a meeting with presidential candidate Michelle Bachmann and other Republican candidates, despite some very poor public disapproval of gays, has been under fire for criticizing hate crime laws. Even after being the victim of an attack himself, LaSalvia's stance is unchanged. He said, quote, "Recently, my argument is I'm fine with that, but it didn't do anything to deter him from doing it. And that's my whole point about why did we spend so much political capital for the federal hate crimes law when, okay, it's retribution, but it still does nothing to prevent hate crimes." Jimmy LaSalvia, executive director of GOProud, joins me now. So, Jimmy, I want to ask you right off the bat, how does it feel to be personally attacked, to be someone that has now been through a hate crime, but it does not affect your political position, and you can personally attest that this is a real threat?
Well, Thomas, I can tell you that it did affect me emotionally. Only going through that could someone understand how it affects you. And but in my case, what happened was during the attack, when I reached into my backpack, one of the friends of the attacker questioned, did I have a gun? And I just let them think that and kept my hand in my backpack, and then they started to run off. And I think what we should do is focus our efforts on policies that actually help to prevent hate crimes. And Second Amendment rights are gay rights, and that's where I think we should focus our efforts. Just this week, we had a transgender woman in Washington, D.C. shot, and our whole country saw the beating in the McDonald's in Baltimore of Chrissy Polis when she was attacked for being transgender. And so I think that the LGBT community needs to focus our efforts on preventing hate crimes, because there's clearly not been an end to them since we passed the federal hate crimes law.
But when you talk about preventing them, what do you want to put out there? I mean, this is almost like saying that someone that is the victim of any type of attack shouldn't face any legal repercussions because there's no way to prevent them to begin with. You can't stop rape. You can't stop murder.
Not saying that at all. I absolutely hope that the person who attacked me is caught and convicted. What I'm saying is we need to help people to lawfully defend themselves to prevent these crimes from happening in the first place. You know, my outcome could have been completely different had they not thought that I had a gun. I could have been beaten to death, but that the mere thought that I might have a weapon to defend myself deterred the crime. And I hope that we can help to educate more gay Americans about how they can lawfully defend themselves, particularly in places where concealed carry and other pro-Second Amendment policies are in place.
Well, that is something that affects everybody across this country. It doesn't have
Absolutely.
to be, it doesn't have to be with the LGBT community. It affects all Americans. But I do want to talk about what GOProud is doing in terms of reaching out an invitation to Michelle Bachmann to take a meeting. Where does that stand right now? Has the Bachmann camp gotten back to you? Will they meet with you?
Well, at this point, we are having a dialogue with them, and when there's something to report, I'll let you know. You know, we're reaching out to all of the presidential candidates because, frankly, gay Americans are living in the Obama economy too, and it's important that we beat him next November and replace this failed president.
But you will replace him with a person that would extinguish you. You're replacing him with a person that doesn't believe that you have a right in this country to get married, that believes you don't even have a right in this country to be gay because she co-owns a clinic that will convert you.
Well, I think all the presidential candidates should hear our perspective as gay Americans who, like you, live our lives openly and honestly because we bring a unique perspective to our American experience. And I think it's important for anyone running for that office to hear that perspective.
And still, you don't have a meeting with her, right?
I'll let you know when we do.
Jimmy LaSalvia. Jimmy, great to see you. Thanks.
Thanks, Thomas.